All right, in this video, we're going to use these three logarithm properties to simplify logarithmic expressions. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first example. And what you'll notice is I have 4 times the log base 2 of 3, and it's going to look a lot like our third property here, where I have a constant out in front. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take that constant and now make it the exponent of whatever I'm taking the log of. So in this case, I'm going to take that 4, we're going to move it over here to be the exponent of 3 and then simplify where we can. So that's going to equal log base 2 of 3 to the 4th power. And I know 3 to the 4th power is 81. So I have log base 2 of 81. All right. So anytime you have a constant out in front, we're simply going to move it to be the power of whatever I'm taking the log of. So now let's go look at the second example here. I have a plus here in the middle, and if you'll notice, this is very important. I have to have the same base for my logs. All right. So if I go back up here and look at my rule, again, we have to have a b and a b, meaning they have to be the same. And then when I add those two together, so then I'll take my m and n, whatever I'm taking the log of, and I'm going to multiply them together. So if I come over here and simplify that, I have log base 3 and log base 3, I have them on both sides, log 3 and log 3. So I'm going to take my 6 and 7 and multiply them together. So what I have is log base 3 of 6 times 7. Simplify that to be log base 3 of 42. All right, let's go look at our next one here. So before we do this, I want you to notice that I have something here in that second term, okay, that looks a lot like what we did in the first one. So I'm going to use that same rule. I'm going to take that 3, I'm going to move it to be my exponent here. All right, so I'm going to keep the front the same. So I have log base 5 of 54 minus log base 5 of 3 to the 3rd power, right? And I know 3 to the 3rd power is just going to be 27. So I have log base 5 of 54 minus log base 5 of 27. Now that I have that simplified, if I go look at my second property up here, it's just like the addition one. I have to have the same base for both of them. But now I'll take my m and n and I'm going to divide them. All right. So if I come back here to that example we were working on, so now what I know is I have the log base 5 of 54 over 27. And again, I'm going to simplify where I can. And I know 54 divided by 27 is simply just 2. So there I've simplified that original expression to be log base 5 of 2. All right, so now what we have is this fourth example. It's a little bit longer, but if you look close, I have one of all of those properties. So whenever you're doing these, you don't have to use just one property at a time. You can use several or sometimes even all 3 of those. So pause the video, try this on your own, then we'll check it out. All right, so now that you had a chance to look at this on your own, let's go ahead and work on this together. So now I have a constant out in front of that log. So I'm going to take that 2, I'm going to make it the exponent for the 15. So what we have is log base 2 of 15 squared, and I know that's 225. I've got log base 2 of 5, and I got plus log base 2 of 3. So now if I look at this part here, I can see looks like the minus rule. So I'm going to take my 25 and 5 and divide them. So what we have is log base 2 of 225 over 5 plus log base 2 of 3. But I know that 225 divided by 5 is 45. So I'm going to write 45 right here. And then I'll notice I have log base 2 and log base 2, so now I can use the addition rule. So I'm going to take the 45 and the 3, multiply them together, and that is going to come out to equal log base 2 of 135. And that right there is as simple as we can make it using our logarithm properties. All right, I hope this video helps. Memorize these rules, and we'll see you in the next one.